Hello and welcome to Talk Asia. I'm Lorraine Han. My guest today is Korean pop sensation Rain, a multi-talented artist known for his rich, deep voice, stunning dance moves and acting skills. Rain shot to stardom in his native country as the lead male actor in the Korean drama Full House. He made his musical debut 3 years ago with the hit song and album Bad Guy and broke into the mainstream Asian market. Since then, he's won numerous awards throughout the region, topping off the MTV Asia Grand Slam this year. Woo! Rain, welcome to Talk Asia. It's so nice to see you. Tell me, why did you use the name Rain?
Before I made my debut, I was talking to my producer about which stage name to use. He said that I give an impression of sadness when I'm dancing, so I decided on the Chinese character B, which means sadness, as sad as rain falling. That's why I chose this name.
You've won a whole list of awards, including the MTV Grand Slam. That must be exciting.
I am extremely thankful to the fans in China, Hong Kong and Asia for the support. It feels like a dream.
Rain, you have 3 albums officially so far and 1 coming up. Yet you have achieved in such a short span of time such an iconic status. Did you ever think you could be so successful so early?
The drama series was very influential, and the fact that I'm also a singer made a difference, because in Korea, when I started, there wasn't a trend where people chose to be both actors and singers. I was the first to do both. It was a great deal of work, but I got a lot of support and love from my audience, and for me to receive that same treatment overseas, I felt that I was also very lucky.
You're here for some concerts in Hong Kong, and the tickets just went just like that. That must be exciting.
I was extremely excited to hear the news, and it really seems like a dream. I'm not an artist from Hong Kong, and yet the fans gave me tremendous support, all of which makes me very thankful. I do hope that the success of this tour will be the start of many more activities for me here in Hong Kong and throughout the rest of Asia.
Did you have to tone down any of your dancing or anything to perform in China?
Not at all. I always try to perform my concerts my own way. You had asked earlier why the Chinese fans like my music, and I believe it's because I show them the type of concerts they haven't seen before. There aren't many performers there who would rip their clothes off on stage, and I was the first to try this.
You've toured a number of cities here in Asia. Any favorites?
Hong Kong and China. It's the home of Andy Lau, Jackie Chan and other great Chinese actors who I'm a big fan of. I would actually really like to meet them if I get a chance. Asian culture is really great. So, there's no specific country. I like Asia and Asian culture as a whole.
Now that you've made it in the Asian market, what is next?
Oh, it's much too early to say that I've made it in the Asian market. The reason I am active in Japan, Hong Kong, China and around Asia is that I want to succeed here and then go on to be even more international. Because currently the United States has the dominant music market, what I would really like to see is a top Asian artist emerge strongly from the Asian market and then go on to succeed in the US market. I'm not speaking only for myself, but for any artist. I would be really happy for any Asian if he or she manages to do it. Although I still have a long way to go, I would like to become the pride of Asia. When another Asian artist enters the US market, I would like him to think, there was an artist called Rain who succeeded in the US market. This is my dream. I hope there will come a time when I step out onto a global stage. But until that time, I need to put in a lot more work. And I need to study hard, especially different languages, so that I can become more international.
Rain, what was it like to meet, Will Smith and Mariah Carey at the MTV Video Awards in Japan?
글쎄요, 이제 그분들을 직접 만나진 못했고.
I wasn't able to meet them in person, but there is always something to learn from people who are passionate about what they do and who have succeeded. They are different from ordinary people, so I have learned a lot just from watching them. I also learned at the awards that there are a lot of good things about Asian culture.
느꼈어요.
What did they teach you?
미국 시장에 대한 굉장한 강한
I learned that instead of relying on and imitating American music, there is a better chance for an Asian artist to succeed if he or she follows his or her own culture.
춤이 있고 그리고 이런 태국권의 춤이 있고 아시아의 문화를 접속.
For example, I incorporate Asian martial arts into my dancing. There is a hip-hop artist called Lil Kim. She's a female rapper who loves Asian culture. Her boots might have a picture of a carp, or she might wear a jacket with a dragon design. So an important thing I've learned is that instead of following the US market, we all need to follow our own cultural style.
갖고 가면 그게 오히려 더 성공할 것 같다는 것, 그런 것들을 배웠죠.
Rain, your fan base ranges from 4 to 50. Not only in Korea, but the entire Asian region. Why do you think they come to see you? To listen to your music, to watch you move?
진실됨이에요.
If you are truthful, most people will like you. It is important to be able to say honestly if there's something that you cannot do. Just like it is important to acknowledge the things that you do well, so that you can ask people to enjoy it with you. That's my approach, and that's why my fans like me.
팬층이 생기는 것 같아요. 네.
You are very humble.
Thank you.
So it's not your good looks.
No. 왜 그러냐면
And I know that's not the case because I remember going to auditions before my debut and I was rejected 12 times.
그게 다 왜 떨어졌냐면 제 얼굴
I was told back then that the reason I was rejected was because my face was too ugly. I was even told to come back after cosmetic surgery. In fact, I was told after one audition that my singing and dancing was great, but I didn't make it because I didn't have double eyelids.
노래도 좋은데 쌍꺼풀이 없다는 이유로
How do you think I felt at that time?
것 같아요.
Rain, we're going to take a very, very short break. When we come back, we'll talk to Rain about getting his first big break. There's lots more on Talk Asia, so don't go away. Welcome back to Talk Asia. My guest is Korean singer and actor Rain. Rain, what were you like as a child? Were you very musical?
어렸을 땐 굉장히 순수하고
I was very innocent and shielded as a child, so I didn't know a lot about music or dancing. When I was in primary 6, no one would participate in a talent show, so I decided to go on. When the audience applauded me, I felt euphoric, and I started dancing right after that.
그래서 그때부터 춤을 추기 시작했어요.
Were your parents very encouraging?
우리 부모님께서는 처음엔 조금 반대가 있으셨지만
My parents were initially against it, but they became supportive after a while.
서포트해 주셨어요. 그래서 굉장히 저를 많이 밀어주시고
So there's been no special obstacles in choosing this career.
뭔가 나쁜 점이나 뭔가 막힌 점은 없었죠.
I read that you lost your mother at a very young age. That must have been a very, very difficult time for you. How did you deal with that?
어머님은 저에게 굉장히 큰 존재였어요. 큰 존재였는데
My mother was a big part of my life. The mother-son relationship between us was very strong.
사실 한국에서는
In Korea, you have to take a national exam to gain entry into university. Around the time I was getting ready to take the exam, her health was deteriorating very badly, and she began scolding me a lot. I was also going through puberty, and all of this just put a strain on our relationship.
있는데 그래서 거리가 굉장히 멀어졌죠.
We didn't talk much and became very distant.
수능 시험을 앞두고 한국에선 엿을 사주거든요. 근데
Before taking this exam, it's usual to receive a traditional Korean sweet, and my mother bought me this sweet and gave it to me together with a letter. In the letter, she said that she was sorry, and when I read it, I was heartbroken. After a few months, during which we still didn't speak much to each other, she passed away.
한마디도 한 두세 달 동안 거의 몇 마디 못 해보고 돌아가신 다음에
To this day, I regret that I wasn't once able to pick her a bouquet of flowers or buy her a meal. At the time, I vowed in front of her picture that when I received a major award, it would be in her honor. I'm very happy that I've achieved this.
네, 너무나 즐겁습니다.
I'm sure she'll be very, very proud of you. Have you dedicated any songs in her memory?
네,
In this concert, there is a song dedicated to her. I used to cry a lot when singing this song, but I am now more in control of my emotions. I think it is because of her memory that I try harder, have become more humble, and because of her, I try to be a good person and not to do bad things.
자만하지 않고.
Rain, your music career started with you being a backup dancer, and then you went solo. Was there a turning point when you really did decide to go solo?
그러니까 말하자면
Working as a dancer has its limits because you are dancing with set moves. But as a singer, you have more variety and can reinvent yourself continuously. That's why I made the decision to be a singer. And meeting J.Y. Park, my manager, was really the turning point.
But it was a big risk, right? You could have failed.
잘 될 거라고 믿었어요. 근데
I had faith. I believed that everything would turn out well in the end.
정말 돈이 없어서
But it was a struggle at first. At one point, I didn't eat for 4 days because I had no money. There was also a time when I was ill, but I couldn't go to the hospital. It was hard, but these events only made me more determined, and they gave me the strength to overcome obstacles.
더 하려고 했고 더 힘든 시기를
I didn't know then if it would take me 3, 4, or 10 years to succeed, but I really believed it would happen someday.
어쨌든 잘 될 거라고 믿었어요. 그랬기 때문에
There were a lot of people who helped me along the way as well. I think I was very lucky.
네, 운이 좋은 것 같아요.
Rain, you've choreographed